Hi and welcome to my channel. I just finished recording my least favorite reads of 2022 and I was getting a little upset at the end. Internally I don't think it showed, but now I just want to like chill out and have a fun time and kind of talk to you about the books that actually made me smile and I still think about to this day. Like I want to reread them right now, but like the TBR, she's growing really big. Without further ado, I'm just going to kind of get into it. Some of these books I don't really remember, but that's kind of the point. You know, this is an unhinged channel. We're unhinged here. We just vibe. So I'm going to best explain my thoughts about these books, and if I'm completely wrong about something, I'm sorry. This memory, not amazing. Starting off strong is one of the books that I literally think about all the time. I'll be like sitting in class and my mind will just drift and I'll think about this book, you know, and it's just one of those things where I'm like, it hit me so hard and I just want to read all of their books, and that is Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. When I tell you, I didn't know a book could make me feel like this. Like, the love I have for Macy and Elliot is beyond compare. I thought Colleen Hoover, where is she? Oh, she's over here. I thought Colleen Hoover hurt my heart. This Love in Other Words takes place in, I think, California, and it goes back and forth, past and present, between these childhood friends, Macy and Elliot, who you find out in the first chapter they like dated, something happened, and then Macy hasn't talked to Elliot in I think like 7 years or something. It is something crazy, and you're kind of going through the past where they meet each other and they're friends, they're neighbors as well, and you watch their friendship blossom into a relationship, and then in the present where they kind of reconnect and Elliot is trying so hard to understand why Macy just stops talking to him. When the two stories collide, it is heartbreaking. I have never felt what I felt in this book, and although there is an issue with this book, and if you have read this book you know exactly what it is, but even ignoring that minor problem with the book, I loved it because it made me feel so much. I've never fallen in love with two characters before like I fell in love with them. I finished this in a day because it was so good. I could talk about this book all the time. Like, oh, look at those tabs. I loved this book. I want to reread it right now. I need a movie adaptation. Like, I need everything for this book. Another book I think about less, but I still sometimes will think about it. A lot less now that it's winter, but I still think about it sometimes, mostly when I'm listening to T Swift, and that is The Summer of Broken Rules. Going into this book, I did not think I would like it as much as I did. I was kind of nervous, kind of scared. The Summer of Broken Rules is about Meredith, who is in town on her family's island in Martha's Vineyard for her cousin's wedding. Every year there's this game of assassins, and her sister was the champion of the game. Her sister passed away a few years prior to the start of this book, so she feels like it is her duty to win and become the champion of assassins for that year while this wedding is going on. Her only problem is the groom's stepbrother is really good, and they end up striking up a deal to take everybody else out, and they're kind of buddy and partners throughout this game of assassins, and that turns into a cute little fling. Now, I think what's so amazing about this book is it feels like they are their ages. I think they're 18 and 19 maybe. I don't really know, but they're my age. And when I was reading this, I felt like they were my age. Most books, I feel like the characters are way younger than they're supposed to be or way older than they're supposed to be, because obviously the author is usually not the age of the character. But with this, I don't know how it was done, but I felt like I could relate to them on a deep emotional level solely based off of their age and how they were acting. Take that away, it is such a cute little fun book, and I think that if you love Taylor Swift, you'll love this book. And I know that everyone says that, but it is so true. Next is a book I swore up and down I would not read. It was one of my closest friends' favorite books. It still is. and she read it my senior year of high school, and she was like, you have to read this. This is amazing. And I'm like, I'm not going to read this solely based off the main character's name, because I hate main characters with weird names, but we get over it for Pip, because A Good Girl's Guide to Murder was 5 out of 5. I need the show right now. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder follows Pip, who is doing a senior project on a missing person / murder investigation that happened 5 years prior. It is a closed case because they believe they figured it out and the person who did it killed themselves. But Pip, she's not convinced, and she kind of goes digging, but she's smart about it and she figures out what really happened. What I love the most about this book is that the mystery is solved in this book. Yet I was still intrigued and wanted to read the other two because Pip is amazing. Like, I'm sorry if you read this book and you didn't think Pip was amazing. You're wrong. She is queen. As someone who loves watching true crime, it felt like a real case that I could have watched on a true crime video, because it was so in-depth, detailed, and realistic. Like, a lot of crimes have like this big twist, like, I'm not looking at you, one of us is lying, but I'll look at you. Like, that's really kind of unrealistic, and I feel like Holly Jackson goes realistic because she knows true crime and she knows how to get to the heart of true crime lovers, and that is Pip. Also, Pip and Ravi, love you guys. The next 3 I do not have physical copies for, but they are amazing nonetheless. The first one is On Earth We Are Briefly Gorgeous, and this follows a guy. My memory sucks so bad. Follows a man. He is writing like letters to his deceased mother, and pretty much he's just saying all of the things he couldn't say to her when she was alive. And it varies so drastically. Everything from different memories that he remembers so vividly because of the way that she treated him, all the way to personal things and secrets he had that he never told her. And you see this man's life through the lens of confessing to a mother that's like beyond the grave. This book was so beautiful, and I loved every minute of reading it because just the way the words were formed, the sentences flowed perfectly, the story was so heartwarming yet so simple. I do think that this was one of my all-time favorite reads, and I do want to reread it. I actually want a physical copy of it so bad because it just touched me, and I was like, wow. At the end of it, I was just like, wow. Like, I didn't know someone could write like that. This next one is going to be real rough because I don't really remember a lot of what happened in it. And that book is Boys Don't Cry. This book, I remember being so astonished by how great it was and how few reviews it had on Goodreads, because it's not really popular. I don't even remember how I found it, but I found it and I downloaded the ebook on my iPad, and one night I just read all of it. It's about these 2 brothers, and the point of view changes between them, but also between past and present. The older brother has a present point of view, and the younger brother has the past point of view. And within the first 2 chapters, you find out that the younger brother died, and his story, his point of view, is kind of learning about how he's going to die, and then the slow, painful descent to that death. Whereas the older brother is kind of dealing with the aftermath of that death, like 4 or 5 years after it happened, and how the effects are still haunting his family and his community, and most importantly, himself. It explored a lot about like toxic masculinity, a lot about just Irish culture in general, because it takes place in Ireland. A lot about the bonds of families, specifically brothers, class issues and economic issues, and it just hit all of them on the mark because it didn't just tell you. This book showed you how like economic hardships can lead to tragedies, how this toxic masculinity can ruin people's lives, and it did so amazingly. It is a quick read, and it is such an amazing one. I remember feeling just amazing after it. I can't think of a better word because I couldn't stop thinking about it for about a week. And with that is my best books of 2022. I hope you enjoyed. Please let me know down below your favorite reads of 2022, or if you've read any of these, let me know what you thought about them. Maybe you hated them. Maybe Pip was not for you. I don't know how she couldn't be for you, but if she wasn't, you let me know. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.